Get 'em!
This week's episode is brought to you by Salt Creek, some of the best steel and TSS on the market, and Kicks Industries. The Smoke Series is my favorite. Welcome back. Welcome to this week's YouTube Live and the podcast. My name is RD. Welcome to the Waterfowl Den. Man, we talking turkeys tonight. We're talking numbers, and they are not good. Who's ready for turkey season to be over with? Well, it's almost a thing. I was so hyped for turkey season. I can't say I'm disappointed because I have seen a lot of turkeys, a lot of hens, which in theory is going to make for a good season next year, hopefully. But we're talking numbers, and y'all, they're bad. That's all I can say is they're bad. With that being said, we're going to break it down. And when I start breaking these numbers down, it gets worse. That's all I can say. I looked at the numbers, and they literally will scare you. So hopefully everybody's having a good Wednesday. Having a pretty good week. The temperatures are definitely cooler. We're definitely going to get some more rain. We got some rain. Finally, I think it was 2 months. It's been at least a month since we got any rain. So thank you, Lord, for the rain. It has definitely been a dry spring so far. If you've been watching any of the weather in the Midwest, they've been getting hit with a bunch of tornadoes. So it's a good thing that we're not there. So be in prayers for them people, because they are definitely getting a lot of destruction so far in the I'd probably say top of Texas. Oklahoma got hammered, Tennessee, Chicago area, Indiana, Missouri, all of them's been getting hit by a lot of tornadoes. So, man. So let's get to it. How is your turkey season going? If you're in South Carolina and you've been posting, I don't know, about 2 weeks ago that you've been tagged out, which means you got 2 turkeys, which means you got 2 toms, which we can't shoot jakes or hens in South Carolina. So if you got 2 toms and you posted on Facebook that, hey, I'm taking the rest of the season off and I got my 2 birds and yeah, I'm done for the rest of the year. You know, I hope my mama's not listening. So whoever you are that's posting that, I hope you get the bad poops with no toilet paper. Because the rest of us, goose egg. And I thought there was going to be a lot of turkeys this year. I saw a lot of turkeys the beginning of the season. I seen a lot of turkeys hunting. I went yesterday, saw a hen. She spent probably 40 minutes in the field, didn't make a peep. So that tells me one of 2 things. She wasn't interested in the tom, or the tom wasn't around. So why wasn't she interested in the tom? Because she's the same hen that I've been seeing in that field every time I go. So that means she's either got eggs or baby somewhere or fixing to have some pullets. So she ain't looking for no action. She ain't calling for no tom to come in. So that's my theory. But when I look at the numbers, it gets even worse. And I have to say, I got to give credit to Mike, or the Mike Green on YouTube, because he took the numbers and he threw them in ChatGPT and he shared them numbers with me. So I then took them numbers, also threw them in ChatGPT with updated current numbers, and I did Georgia and North Carolina, and it gets depressing the more you look at it. So let's get to it. Let's start with South Carolina last year. How many turkeys were harvested in South Carolina in 2025? Now, 2025 was the first year of the no jakes, so they had to be all toms. 18,654 turkeys. 18,000 turkeys. Let's go to South Carolina. This year, we have up till Saturday. So Thursday, Friday, Saturday. We got 3 days left and youth day. I don't think it's a youth weekend. I think it's 1 day. So in theory, some hunters may have 4, but we have 3 days left. 3 days. Last year, 18,000 turkeys. Reported as of today. And you have up to 24 hours, I think, to report your harvest for today. But I count for today 9,384 turkeys. We are down 50% from last year. How is that? I mean, what are we doing as a state? I thought them were bad numbers. But then when I pull Georgia and North Carolina, these are horrible numbers. What is going on? Like, last year was a rough year. We went down in harvest number. This year we're already at 50%. I mean, I don't know what we're doing as a state, but whatever we're doing, we need to stop, recalibrate, and look at something. Because when you go from 18,654 turkeys, which out of them 18,000, 16,000 was on private land, but you go this year, 9,384 and 8,419 is in private. So taking Mike's theory and dropping them in ChatGPT, it gets pitiful. I'm talking about, you know, I see my mother commented, and I hope she didn't hear that first comment. So if you tagged out, hey Jeff, so if you tagged out in South Carolina already at the beginning of the season with 2 birds, I hope you get the poops. That's what I hope you get. Not like going to the hospital, but like you can't make it inside the house. That's how, and stump your toe as you're running in. Because when you take the numbers, what are the numbers in Nebraska? I'll look at them in a minute. 9,000 birds, 8,418. That's 89% on private land. So for the guys like me that don't own land, I mean, I own land, but I don't own land that's got turkeys on them. I have a 10.3% chance all season to get a bird. Maybe just one. Not 2, but 1. I have a 10% chance. Let that number sink in. Out of that 10%, there's only been 965 turkeys on all game management in South Carolina this year. Now that's the numbers up till today. Again, we got 3 days left. So 8,000 was on private land, and we had 18,000 last year. That's terrible. Roughly 9 out of every 10 birds is killed on private land. And I'm not saying, oh, private landowners, you got something special. I hunt private land. Saturdays I hunt game management, and Sundays I hunt private. So I do have the opportunity to hunt private. I'm not knocking private at all. But what are we doing on private land that we need to move over to game management? Is it maybe they're doing a horrible job when they're doing prescribed burns? We know that every year somewhere on game management, they're doing burns right in the middle or right up to the turkey season. Now they say, and I'm not an engineer, they say it's because it's low humidity and that's the best time to do it because you got less chance of a fire getting out of control. Now that could be totally possible. I'm not even going to argue the science on that because we went from wintertime where it wouldn't have started a fire. You couldn't do a back burn because it was too cold. We went from cold temperatures to straight armpits of Armageddon with the heat. So I kind of get it, but what are we doing if we only got a 10% chance of getting a bird on game management? Is it higher pressure? Possibly. I've been going to this one game management place out in the sand hills of South Carolina, and when you walk in, you can see the pine trees because it's all pine needles. And you know, as turkey hunters, we slide the debris or the leaves or the needles and tree limbs out of the way so we can sit down. One, we don't get bugs and snakes and ticks, which I got bit by a tick on my hand here, but we slide that out. So when you walk through, the first time I went, there was only like 1 or 2 trees that had them mounds pushed out. The second time I went, it was definitely noticeable that more people's been there. And I went the third weekend and it was trees everywhere. So that means there's pressure. So is that the reason? What's the reason for lower harvest per property? Because if you look at it, our game management, we have a lot of land. I think so too, Jeff. I do think it's pressure. Some game management in South Carolina, you have a check-in station. You got to check in, check out. So in theory, those game managements, they could look at the numbers and say, how many hunters went to this area on pressure? But like the one that I went to, there is no check-in station because it's just got open fields. I mean, it's just, you look on the map and it's just pieces all over that county. There's just game management. A lot of game management is not owned by the state. A lot of the times what they do with the landowners, they either rent them or they work out a deal with the property taxes. They don't own the land. The homeowner or the landowner still owns it, but it's game management. And when you say game management, it's not really like they're managing it. They're basically watching it, making sure people's not breaking the rules. Plus, you can't hunt on Sundays. So it gives the opportunity for you to hunt, but they get to have say so, and it takes the liability off of the property owner. Say I owned 100 acres and I want to turn it over to game management, but I don't want to get sued, stuff like that. Then you know that's where the liability, they take that liability, stuff like that. So, and they kind of monitor it and make sure that everything's good. But our numbers are terrible. So then I got to thinking. I took his approach and threw him in ChatGPT. Now, I did go look at Alabama and Mississippi. So there's a good many states that I've hunted in that uses the same website and app as South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, New Jersey, I think Tennessee. They all use the same company. And when I say company, I don't know the name of the company, but when you go to the website, they look exactly the same. The pictures might be changed, but the way the website works and the way the app works, they're actually the same. So South Carolina, North Carolina, Georgia, stuff like that, you have live data. Like you can see the data raw. But I looked at Alabama and Mississippi. I could not find live statistics. Push private land after opening day. Yeah. We don't get pheasants. The only pheasants we really get is, you know, the ones that got released at most of these hunting preserves. But yeah, they definitely got pressure on them, because the land that I'm hunting in the sand lands is private, game management, and them turkeys know not to cross that line. It ain't even a fence. There is no fence. It's just pine trees and pine trees. The only thing that keeps them from going across is them know, hey, I didn't get shot over here, but if I come over here, I get shot at. So, I mean, and two, I'm sure the calling Monday through Friday is probably like duck hunting. It is probably best to not even call at all. But I have been seeing turkeys. Like I said, I've been seeing hens. I went to that game management that third week. That hen came, I mean, she come across that private land. She was a fussing. She was mad. She ran into the public and trotted around, kicking and, I mean, she was mad. And then went right back to private. It was pretty cool. I got some pretty good video. Makes absolutely no video for content other than, hey, y'all, I went hunting and here's a hen. So let's look at Georgia. So Georgia, when I look at Georgia, Georgia doesn't have where I can drop the data into ChatGPT. But so far, they got 11,096 turkeys harvested. And you can break that down. Let's see, pull it up. You could break it down by county. Now, I do like Georgia's, because then you can interact with the map here. And it is really funny. This area right here on the map here, that's Atlanta. Like, this is Atlanta and all the suburbs of Atlanta. So when you click on them counties, one turkey. And you can see the square miles too. 534 square miles, 20 turkeys. But a lot of these places around Atlanta, there ain't a whole lot of turkeys. But this dark brown here, 226 turkeys. 208. So there's a lot of turkeys in Georgia going on. We get down here and Jay's neck of the woods, and they definitely got some turkeys going on. You look at Augusta, yeah, there's not a whole lot, and that's typical, because that's a lot of houses, a lot of subdivisions. You look at turkey numbers, where it used to be a lot of turkeys, we don't have the farmlands like we used to. We don't have the farm practices that we used to. So Georgia looking like South Carolina, not great. Better, but not great. So let's pull up North Carolina. I mean, North Carolina, I'm thinking about going to getting my North Carolina license, because North Carolina, let me throw this back up on the screen. Now, I do like North Carolina, the way North Carolina does it also. North Carolina breaks it down by county, total harvest, and by beard size. So it'll tell you, is it greater than or less than 7-inch beard? Did you get it with a gun, a bow and arrow, a crossbow? And then it breaks it down by an average of the past 3 years, 3 years of beards, and so on. They're collecting so much more data. Now, as a hunter, we all know that when we open the app, we got to say what county we in and all this. It is probably aggravating. I agree. I understand that. But look at the data that they have versus South Carolina. South Carolina. Did you kill a turkey? How many juveniles? Hey, you might as well take that off because we can't shoot a juvie or a Jake. Might as well just take that column off. That column's completely useless. Where's our, what'd you get it with? Where's the, how long the beard is? You don't have none of that data in South Carolina. See right here? Last year, 18,000. This year, 9,000. 50%. 50%. Now you're going to say, well, the numbers ain't finished coming in. Okay. I get that. Let me count the days that we have left. Thursday, Friday, Saturday. Ain't looking good for us South Carolina boys or gals or youth. Hey, you probably got a bet. I bet if I put in ChatGPT, what is your odds of hitting one going down the road, and it's probably going to be higher than 10% on game management. You probably got a higher chance of one flying out of the sky and hitting you. Because when you come over to North Carolina here, 20,000 birds. 20,000. You drop that data into ChatGPT, you get a 88% of long beards less than 7 inches. You get, no, read that wrong. 17,000 greater than 7 inches. So 88% are long beards. You can get 2,452 or 12% of jakes less than 7 inches. Heck, in South Carolina, I think the rule said 5 inches. So hunters are overwhelmingly taking mature birds. 20,000. So gun kills, 20,138 by shotguns, bow 137, and a crossbow at 67. You got a better chance of shooting a turkey with a crossbow with a bent arrow in North Carolina than you do in game management in South Carolina. Not really. I may be fudging the number just a little bit on that, but that's how I feel. So if you took their numbers where they put it on the paper and showed the averages, current total 20,000, 3-year average 19,000. So they're up. What is North Carolina doing? Whatever they doing, we need a copy. So the counties in North Carolina, Dumpling, Halifax, Pender, Columbus, Sampson, and I have no idea what that last one is. So eastern North Carolina is the flat country. That's where most of the farming and like Outer Banks, that part is carrying the state. But if you want to see the numbers, let's look at it. Counties trending below their 3-year average: Franklin, Pender, Brunswick. In the mountains, you have a higher percentage of taking a Jake, but in the eastern counties, you have more consistency of long beard production. So that's telling you that something's different in the mountains. Obviously, you look at the mountains of North Carolina, what do you have? Asheville. What else you got up in North Carolina? Bears. Yeah. You got a lot of other stuff up there. It is harder for turkeys to live up there because the terrain is a whole lot harder. You got just different terrain than you do in the farmland. So I can understand the mountains being a little bit tougher. The mountains, you're playing like you're playing the lottery. You go east towards the farmland, you got pretty good odds. let's look at some other statistics. Yeah, 88% of them are lone beers, so you really don't have to be picky with it. Oh, we got a new person in the chat. Hey, how you doing? Welcome to the channel. So what is North Carolina doing? Whatever they doing, I'm telling you, I'm not that far from North Carolina. I'm thinking about scoot booting across the line. Maybe not this year because the season's almost over, but let's pull up because Jeff want to look at Nebraska's numbers. Let's see if Nebraska. Jeff, since you've been on, y'all had any bad weather out that way? I know that the panhandle of Texas and Oklahoma has been getting hit pretty hard by tornadoes. I don't recall seeing Nebraska having any hurricanes or tornadoes or any kind of EF anything, but I could be wrong. Let's see, turkey harvest, see if they got live data. Pull up it. Typically what I pull up is I just put in the state and say DNR turkey harvest. Usually they have a live report. Looks like they might have it. Let's see here. View turkey guide. I don't want to look at turkey guide. I don't want to look at dates. Where to hunt. View the surveys. Wild turkey. All right, so I can't see 26 yet, but let's just look at 25. So Nebraska, they have a fall and a spring. So 25 season of fall looks like, look for the number. I can pull it up on the screen here. Yeah, Jeff, we need some rain bad too. So 25 fall season. I don't see a number straight off this. Like either I'm looking at it or I don't see it. So you got a 21% chance of taking a turkey. But I don't see a total harvest. Unless I'm just completely blind. Or maybe I didn't scroll down far enough. How about that? So residential, I do like it how they broke it down, residential and non-residential. We don't see that in South Carolina. It looks like an 88% chance of a residential getting it over a non-residential person. Hey, they break it down in male, female, and then by age group. I mean, looking at that number, statistically, I would be pretty good. I mean, I'm in the 40s. So, I'd be pretty good getting a turkey out there, number-wise. Duration of the interview, number of hunters. They break it down. They tell you how many hunters there are. Days per hunter. Hey, look, there's a Lancaster County in Nebraska. Now, how'd you know it had to be the highest number, too? That's pretty neat. It breaks it down of permit holders, what county or state they came from. A lot of people coming to Nebraska from Colorado. I don't see no South Carolina people on there. Jeff, we could break the records. All I got to do is just show up and hunt one day, and we could put South Carolina on the map. Man, that is a lot of data. So it even breaks it down to species. Now, granted, South Carolina does not need to break it down to species. We only have one species. So Easterns, Merriams, and the Rios. Easterns are what we have. They are the darker tails, tips. The Merriams are not as white. I would say like sandy color, yellowish. No. Merriams are completely white. The Rios is the yellow, sandy, dirty looking color. And then the non-species is, the mixed breeds. Uh, some people say that that's what Florida is a Eastern, just got longer legs. It's up for debate. But look like you could take 3 different birds. Looks like the Merriam's a total of 72 with a 19% chance of a Merriam. Now, Jeff, I don't have a Merriam. We need to work on that. We need to. What up, Mike Green? You just getting in here. You missed. I gave you credit. Anyway, Jeff, we need to talk about this Merriam. I don't have a Merriam. We need to collaborate. Start working that out. Exactly, Mike. Mike, you missed the numbers. You didn't miss the numbers for South Carolina. But we're gonna go back because I know some of y'all are just getting out of church. And these numbers are bad. So, Mike, I took what you said. Mike, and I threw it in ChatGPT. The numbers that you said pretty much came out right. So we look at 2025 turkey season, 18,000 turkeys. We look at what is reported now, 9,000 turkeys. 50% less. 3 days left. 4 if you're a youth. So with that breaking out, Mike, I'm not going to go into the details again from South Carolina, but 10% chance of getting a turkey. But Mike, you live in the same town that I do, and we can go right across the border to North Carolina. This is what you didn't throw in the statistics, Mike. North Carolina harvest. North Carolina. I got to back it up. I got sidetracked looking at Nebraska here. North Carolina. So far, I got to fill the date back out. So, here it is. All right. North Carolina, so far, 20,000 turkeys. You got an 88% chance in North Carolina of getting a longbeard. 12% getting a Jake. Hey, you got a better chance of getting a Jake in North Carolina than you do any kind of turkey in South Carolina because you only get a 10% chance in South Carolina on public land. But the other statistic, Mike, I want to point out, in North Carolina, 20,000 with shotguns, 137 with a bow, 67 with a crossbow. So I did take your numbers and I did give you credit for it. I said at the beginning, I said, the Mike Green put me on to this. So, buddy, I think next year we're going to cross the line. We're going down south or east. It actually said east was better. But getting back to Nebraska, looking to see if they have a live survey. I see surveys, but I don't see a live thing. But on Google, it did say that there was a live. I just don't see it. So let's see. Type it in again. Live turkey data. Let's see. Well, they got a brood survey. I don't want a brood survey. Man, they got all kind of surveys. We got all kind of surveys, but the survey that I need. They got sightings. I ain't looking for that neither. Maybe, Jeff, I can't find that number. I see all kinds of surveys. But I can't see a live number. Unless I'm just overlooking it. And I don't see it. I can buy a permit. I can make South Carolina be one person on that. So per their website, Nebraska is a great turkey hunting destination. Since their introduction in the Pine Ridge, maybe that's what we need to do. We need to introduce some turkeys to South Carolina. Could we bring some Rios and Miriams in? Maybe. The wild turkeys have been wildly successful in Nebraska. Just 28 Miriams were released at the time, and their numbers have increased quickly and steady. Hybrids with the Miriams, view season dates, but it doesn't have where I can see live data. So Nebraska spring use shotgun. All right, spring shotgun is April the 18th to May 31st. That was a big old spider that went across that screen. April the 18th to May 31st. Look at that. That might be an ant. Get off my camera. I'm looking for deer. And then fall youth archery and shotgun. Fall archery and shotgun. October to November. October the 1st through November the 30th. You can purchase up 2 spring permits, and hunters may harvest no more than 1 turkey per calendar day during the spring season. Hunters may purchase up to 1 fall permit. So, Jeff, work on that Miriam. I need that Miriam. I got 2 more for the slam. And then we're going to Mexico. That's right. Have y'all looked up how that turkey sounds in Mexico? It is not a gobble. It is very, very interesting. It is a sound that you would not typically think was a turkey. And when you go to Mexico, you can hunt with electronic calls. So there is no calling like with the mouth or any other calls. You could just use electronics. They use a Bluetooth speaker, and it's very interesting. I don't think I'm ready to go to Mexico by any means, because it is in the rainforest, and I don't think I'd survive down there. The mosquitoes would slaughter me. That's pretty much it. I know that's how it would be. It would be terrible. But what do y'all think about the turkey population? I thought we were doing pretty good because I've been seeing turkeys until Mike pulled up the numbers, and I was like, And then I started looking at North Carolina, look at Georgia. It's depressing. Jeff says his son is the turkey hunter. He never caught the bug. Well, I can tell you one thing. When you get the turkey and the waterfowl bug, you don't have money for drugs. So if your kids are teenagers and they want to get into waterfowl hunting or even turkey hunting, let them do it, because they will never financially recover. If they want to duck hunt, they won't have money for drugs. Won't happen. Mike puts the turkey. Mike's chasing a turkey, but Mike, let me show you what's coming. So tropical tidbits. Y'all know I like going to this website. Let's just throw this up on the screen here. This is good. This is better news than our turkey season. So if you go to Tropical Tidbits website, up here at the top, you're going to have forecast models. You got different models. I kind of like I don't really like the GFS. I don't feel like it's usually accurate. But you can change all different type models. Play around with it. It's definitely pretty cool. They constantly change the website. It's really good data. You can see what's coming to the weather. Play around with the different models. They both pretty close in general. But let's look at it. This is what you want to look at. So here's your run times. It updates 4 times a day. That's pretty much every weather report. 4 times a day. So we're looking at Wednesday, the 29th. That's what we're on. And then we are on the 4th model because it's fixing them. If you do it 4 more hours, we're going to be in the next day. So we're looking at the model for today. And then it shows you right here your local forecast time. So 8 p.m. Well, that's what it looks like right now. So here is your arrows. So the 29th, and you just keep going. It's showing a little bit of rain in the morning, but I don't put a whole lot of stock in that. But Saturday, it's going to rain all day. Now, Georgia, y'all Georgia people, y'all need this. Y'all have had horrible fires. You really need this rain. Georgia, looks like y'all going to have some definitely good rain. And if you just keep bringing it out, there's a lot of rain. Look like y'all going to get some rain out there, Jeff. So, some more rain coming in. Look at that. This would be May the 7th. Now, I will say, if you're trying to look at something a week out and it says May 7th, it will not be May 7th. It will either be May 8th, May 9th, or it can speed up a day. So when you start getting a week out on weather, the models, these are all models. It's just computer models. With that being said, though, they're somewhat accurate, but the further you get out, the more the days are off. But it gives you a snapshot of what the models are thinking is going to happen. So April the 29th, I definitely don't trust. How did it? May 13th, sorry. May 13th, I knew what I was trying to say there. When we get that far out, May 13th, past Mother's Day, with that being said, not this weekend, next weekend's Mother's Day, fellas. I'm going to go ahead and tell you, Mother's Day. Go ahead and go get something. Mother's Day. If you like to turkey hunt, which I know the season will be over when Mother's Day comes around, but if you like to dove hunt and then deer hunt, you might want to get something for Mother's Day. So go ahead, fellas. Mother's Day. I don't typically like going out this far. I mean, you talking 2.5 week prediction. I don't really trust that. So, but normally the days, usually about 3 to 4 days is really good. But like I said, you can play around with the models. You can do all kind of stuff on this website, and it's tropical tidbits. Some models do not go out as far. See, the other one went way further than May the 15th. So what I like to do is look at all the models, compare them, That usually gives you a pretty good idea on what it really going to be like. But Saturday is looking like a rainstorm. That's what it looks like. It looks like Saturday is going to rain. So for all of us who haven't got a turkey, and this right here, this is what I want to point out. Let's just back it up one click. We'll go 2 clicks. 5 a.m. Saturday morning when we go, and we might have to be there at 4 because it's on public. So we get there about 4:30, 5 o'clock. Yeah, it looks like it's going to rain. 11, about 8 o'clock, Georgia's really thundering out there. 11 o'clock in South Carolina. I probably wouldn't go towards the coast. North Carolina, that's what y'all get. Well, I hope y'all do get rain. But right there on Saturday, it's going to thunder, lightning, and rain in the eastern part of North Carolina. I hope y'all don't get no toms. None of y'all's greater than 7-inch long beard. I may be jealous. I'm not even gonna lie. Maybe I should apologize for wishing poops on y'all. No, I thought about it. No, I'm still wishing y'all got the poops. Because y'all got quadruple the numbers of turkeys that we already got. And they're bigger than 7 inches. I don't even want to talk to nobody from North Carolina. Unless you got a pretty good spot. You got a pretty good spot, call me up. I might buy a license. Oh man, just if we had some turkeys, that's all I could say. Maybe we need to go back to catching some of these predators of nest robbers, the possums, the coyotes, stuff like that. But I don't know. Looking at the numbers, yeah, don't come to South Carolina to hunt turkeys. Maybe our turkey numbers are looking like our duck population. You know, I might have a better turkey chance of going to Food Line and just getting a turkey from Food Line. Probably got a better chance. I got a better chance of going to Food Line and getting one for free than I do probably getting one between here and Saturday. With that being said, I am not going longer than an hour tonight because I am going to go get into bed because I am going to try to go get a turkey on public land tomorrow. So that tells me that I have a 10% chance of getting one tomorrow. And everybody else is going to have 90% chance. But you know what? You can't get them in the bed. You can't get them in the boat unless you pull up on land. But you're not getting them out of this boat. So the only way we can do it is to get out there. And I tell you, even though we have terrible numbers, I know Jeff. Jeff said that's not very Christian-like. I didn't say I wanted them to get the poops and end up in the hospital. I mean, it's not fair that they got 5 times more turkeys. It's not fair. They should share the turkeys with us. Like, put them in the truck and bring them across state lines and let them go. I mean, I think that's fair. I mean, you tell me where the turkeys are, I put them in the truck and bring them across the state line. We'll just have a turkey lasso. You'll have a higher percentage of chance of getting a turkey by lasso. Like, would you have to document that if you got it by lasso? But I am going in the morning. I hope to get one. I have to say, all jokes aside, all jokes aside, I personally have seen more turkeys this year. Now, we don't have them fancy reporting stuff that look like them other states have. But I personally have seen turkeys almost every single time I've went. Now they've been hens. Now you gotta have a hen to have turkeys. It takes a hen to have a turkey. So it also takes the time, but there we go. But we need them hens. I have seen a lot of hens this year. I've seen a few jakes. But the hens that I've seen them repetitive, so that means they're still alive. So that means something is still working in the behalf of me seeing turkeys. And I'm still joking and playing around with it. And I've thanked God every single time I went out there for his blessings of the nature, the quietness, the birds. It is a blessing. It's a blessing just to see a turkey. I can promise you, I may be joking about North Carolina getting the poops. Am I though? I'm joking, North Carolina. But even though we're not shooting turkeys, it is a blessing to go sit in a field for an hour and watch a hen, a real hen, not a farm hen, not something you can go and purchase a hen at Tractor Supply or these ag places and they run around your yard. To watch a hen work in nature, you're still learning. You're still learning how that hen is working. She can be scratching and instantly look up. And whatever she's looking at teaches you, hey, what's she looking at? Is she looking at me? Did I make some kind of noise? Did I move? It also gives you the opportunity to, if you're not in a blind, mess with that hen a little bit. Like, see how much you can move when her head's down and she's scratching. Move. See if she notices you. This is a learning opportunity. Learn from it. Do your calling. You still should call when that hen is out in that field because she wasn't calling. So nobody knows that she's even out there. So you still want to do calling. Practice your calling skills. Can you make her mad to come up there to your decoy? Is she the head hen? If she is, she's not going to like that other hen in her territory. She's going to come look for that hen and possibly get her out of that if that's her territory. Learn from that. This is still a learning experience. Listen to how she talks. Because at the beginning of the season, this same hen that I kept seeing, she was out there talking. She was vocal at the beginning of the season. Listen to the purrs. Listen how often she does it, how loud it is, and practice with your call by doing that. That means you don't even have to go to YouTube to watch. On the windy days, one of the windy days that I was out there, she was out there. How did that play a part in what she was doing? I can promise you, I saw firsthand when it was ripping wind out there, she didn't have her head down. It was up and looking around. So on windy days, you need to be less moving because I can promise you, I thought deer were quiet walking. A turkey is 10 times quieter walking through a field. That turkey will be on you and be like, oh my goodness, where did that turkey come from? So they are super quiet. They got super great eyesight. And that's all I can say. Yes, I've seen turkeys. It has been a blessing to be out in the woods. I am going to go into turkey depression after 3 days, but I do get to take my son on youth day that Saturday before Mother's Day. So is the chances of him taking one? It is not high. It is not high. I do think that I think the hens are done. I think their calling is done. I think they are already started incubating their eggs. I guess that'd be an incubator. Would that be incubating? you got incubators. I think that's incubating when the hen's sitting on. Anyway, they're sitting on it. I really think that that's already started. If you haven't noticed, I know around here, the geese babies are already hatched out. A lot of geese babies, they're bright yellow. If you've never seen a baby goose, they're beautiful, bright yellow. They usually keep them away from the water until they get their waterproof feathers, but they're already starting to hatch too. So it's that time of the year. Farmers, right now is not the time to bush hog. Let me repeat, not the time to bush hog. This is prime nesting session, whatever you want to call it. Now is not the time to bush hog. Give them turkeys a chance. Like I said, they're already nesting, and the first 2 weeks of a turkey's life is do or die. When they pop out of that egg, their little feet hit the ground, they are running, and something's after them for about 2 weeks. That's before they get their flight feathers and they can actually get up off the ground. It's about a 2-week window, depending on the bird, but average 2 weeks. So for their first 2 weeks, it's fight or flight. So North Carolina, I still don't like you. Petey Pablo might like you. And y'all gonna be like, who's Petey Pablo? If you got gray hair right now, you know who Petey Pablo is. And he was from North Carolina. Anyway, hopefully y'all have a good week. I'll see y'all next Wednesday. Hopefully get some rain. I really hope for Georgia. I did see that the upper part of South Carolina is no more in a drought. The other 75% of us are in a drought. Me and my son went down to the pond today to go fishing, and we took 2 bottles of water to pour into the pond so we could actually fish. We need some rain. It's bad. Like the dead grass that died 2 weeks ago died even more. Like I don't even have grass. I got weeds, and even the weeds are dying. So I'm praying that we get some rain this weekend. And like I said, y'all stay safe. South Carolina, we got 3 more days. I know Georgia started before us. Their season might be coming to a wrap. I don't even remember what the days of North Carolina is. But if you bragging out on Facebook about having your limit, I'm not even going to repeat it. I hope you stump your toe. Not break it. I don't want a bodily injury. But I hope you stump your toe. For the rest of us, just nod your head. I'll see y'all next week. Thank you for the rain. Let's close out with a prayer tonight. Our Heavenly Father, thank you for everything you do. Thank you for protecting us. Be with the people in the Midwest with all these storms and Tornado Alley. It's easy to say, why don't they move out? But a lot of these people are born in this area, and it takes money to move. And just matter of seconds, everything they got is lost. As we sit in our house and we're out of, for the most part, dangerous weather, let us don't get comfortable. Let us don't forget you have blessed us with what we do have. And I thank you for the outdoors. I thank you for creating these creatures that we chase that have hardly any brain power that can outsmart us. I thank you for letting us actually even see turkeys, much less giving us the opportunity to sit out there and hunt them. Thank you for the rain that's coming our way. Be with the first responders and the power companies and gas and highway patrol and communications, all these people that have to be out in it. Be with them, protect them. Even the the wrecker service people, they have families too, Lord. Keep them safe during these next couple of days of bad weather and rain. There's the ones that out in there in it. And God, be with our military. We really don't know what's going on over there. It's a lot. I know that. And I know that the men and women that's over there that's fighting for our freedom, they're keeping it over there and it's not on our soil. But while they're over there, their family's here. So I ask that you put an extra protection around their family so that they don't even have to worry about their family while they're over there protecting our freedom. But protect them also. Bring them back home safely. And thank you for everything you do. And thank you for sending your son to die on the cross for my sin, for everybody's sin. And thank you for all you do. Amen. So, until next week, I'll see y'all. Probably empty-handed. Until then, I'll see y'all. Y'all have a good week. And maybe I'll get lucky. Maybe I'll scare a turkey. Walking through the woods, he'll be like, go, and just fall over. You know, I got a 10% chance. All right, see y'all. Matthew Knight with Satura Investors out of Charlotte. There's the information. The link to his website is scrolling across the banner down at the bottom, and it's also in the description. Today's episode is about helping business owners and working professionals like you who share a passion for the outdoors shooting sports, zeroing them in to their long-term financial goals. So if you need any information or contact or any other questions, contact Matthew. Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC, has partnered up with the channel. It is your go-to provider for all your hauling needs. They are not just any hauling service. They are an active DOT interstate hotshot hauling provider. Flint Ridge Service, LLC, prides itself in its reliable transportation services. This team ensures that your cargo is delivered safely and on time no matter the distance. Whether you need to transport goods across the county or state line, they have the capacity and the expertise to meet your hauling needs. Equipped with a smooth riding 40-foot air ride equipped trailer and a max hauling capacity of 20,000 pounds, there's no load too big or too small that they can't handle. Look no further than Flint Ridge Hauling Service, LLC.